Alright, y'all, so this video is about NBA Youngboy. So you can tell by the title that I believe that NBA Youngboy has been cloned. He's not his original self. And these photos that I'm showing you all, like, these are just photos of him gradually as he gets older over time. Now, in these photos, he looks like his regular self. He got that rigid look on his forehead with the dents in his forehead. He still got the same facial structure, same bone structure, same nose and everything. He has that, like, small, medium build and whatnot. And if you know him, you know that he came off as very, like, chaotic almost and very emotional. You could hear the emotion in his music. That's how you know he had, like, a spirit and a soul. And, like, at the same time as him, like, being angry and stuff, like, you could tell that he's a real cool guy, too. At the same time, you could really tell that he's into his family. Like, he appreciates family. He appreciates going back to, or he appreciated going back to his hood in Baton Rouge and just being with the people and stuff and enjoying himself and his sons and his kids. I think he had, like, a lot of kids, like maybe 6 kids. People in the South have a lot of kids. That's just a South thing. But it's actually a good thing. But yeah. So this right here, this is a picture of him supposedly currently. Now, this is a clone, y'all. Look at this. He looks too big. Look at his shoulders. They're so broad. You could just see his face, and you gotta look at his eyes. There's nothing in his eyes. There's no spirit in his eyes, no emotion, no nothing. It's blank. And his skin is just so, like, so perfect. It don't look right. Like, you gotta compare the photos. You tell me. And even now, like, the music that he's putting out right now, it don't even sound like him because the music don't got the same impact as his older music. And it just, there's no depth to it, you feel me? Like, it's like he's gone. Now look at this photo. His head looks completely different from his original self, his original head. So some of y'all might be like, how are they getting cloned? Well, when these rappers are getting signed by these labels like Sony and Atlantic and things like this, the rappers sign the contract and they don't really know from the beginning that they will get cloned until after the contract starts unraveling over time. Then they're told all of these certain things, all of these rituals that they have to do. Some of them are even given death dates and things of that nature. And whether they die on that death date or not, that's questionable. But, like, they definitely get cloned and they definitely get sent to the cloning center. A lot of them go to the cloning center and they see what goes on. And then this is when they start to, like, pull out. They start to question things. They start to get erratic. They like, no, I'm not doing this. They don't like that because it's not natural. It's not right. But, yeah, so you also have to know that these record labels that they're owned by, like Atlantic and all the other labels, like, these record labels are owned by different corporations and agencies, like, like CIA officials and things like that. And because they're owned by these agencies, that means that the artists that are signing to these labels are also agencies. So they're agents. They're lower level agents, lower level CIA owned pawns, basically. So what happens is, this is why you always see the rappers talking about, oh, I'm pulling up in big black trucks, I'm pulling up in big black SUVs. Now you gotta think about that. Like, who do you know that pulls up in black SUVs other than rappers? The feds do. Okay, so you have to, like, think about things critically, because once you do that, you'll put 2 and 2 together and then realize what is really happening here. And most of your artists that are signed to these mainstream labels, like, basically they're, like, first up to get experimented on. Okay, now this is a song that was put out in April 2018, and this is called Traumatized. So in these lyrics, he's saying basically, like, he not gonna sacrifice his child, and that we all gonna die 2020, da 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 da. So basically, you can see within his lyrics that, like, he wasn't going through with the rituals. He wasn't gonna kill his own kids because that's his own kids. Who Who in their right mind is gonna kill their own kids? But see, he doesn't, or he didn't know that that was how the game was played until things started to unravel. And any like human, any man or woman with morals and principles that they stand on, they gonna stand on that shit. They not gonna kill their fucking kids. And y'all don't know, but like a lot of these celebrities, they just breed kids, and they have kids over and over and over again just to breed them, just to give to the beast, to sacrifice them. They don't give a fuck about the kids that they make. They just killing them off eventually because they know they gonna have to keep feeding whatever entity is coming for them to collect. And when the sacrifices do, it's like a spin the wheel type of thing. They spin the wheel, and you have to choose who's gonna be given up. You're gonna kill yourself, or you're gonna kill someone around you, or what's gonna happen. Because either way, somebody gonna have to shed blood. But yeah, and you have to understand, like, they doing this all because they want to keep themselves in the game. They want to keep themselves and keep everything that they have as far as materials, like the little money that they get in, which is scraps. They broke as fuck for real. They want to keep their houses, their little cars and things like that, their little toys. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really stupid because these celebrities and rappers, like, especially the rappers, they broke as shit. They ain't got no money. The executives are taking their money. They're taking majority of their check. They taking all their money. And all the stuff that you see on Instagram from these rappers is all fake as fuck. You see the rappers going to Icebox and stuff. That's the label paying for that. The label is paying for them to go there and buy that necklace, that chain, or whatever. It's all fake. And all the stacks of money that they be holding up, that's just for show. That's not even money that they can actually really spend. And why is that? That's because the record label makes it so that the artists cannot buy themselves out of their record deal. They can't buy themselves out of their own contract. So basically all the money that the record label and executives invested into the artists to make them who they are, the rapper has to pay them back for that. But sadly, the rapper can't do that because the rappers over here, you know, they spend all their money on Icebox, and they spend all their money on an expensive rental apartment, and they spent all their money at an expensive studio to go recording. And so now they just locked into their label. They're locked into their contract and they can't get out. And that's purposely done, obviously. Okay, now let's move on. So this is another song by NBA. It's called Death and Claimed. Now in this song, it kind of sounds like a closeout song to his life, pretty much. So in this song, he was saying, like, they'll kill you if you speak the truth, and if you play it dumb, then everybody, like, praises you pretty much. Like, everybody just thinks that y'all bros and sisters and stuff like that if you play it dumb. And before, like, earlier in the song, he was basically saying, like, everybody around him is not really for him. You can't trust nobody, basically. So pretty much, like, he knew that he was gonna die because he knew what he was up against. He knew what the odds were. Okay, so now this is another photo of NBA in the What's the Speed music video with him and Nicki Minaj. So in this video, if you go back to it, you can see that they're in a cloning center and all these things are happening in the cloning center. They're standing next to people with lab coats on and all this stuff. And basically, like, if you go back, you can see, like, that that's not the actual NBA either. It's a clone of NBA, and you have to know, like, that most of these celebrities and these rappers, they be having, like, multiple clones. They'll create, like, multiple duplicates of them, so they'll at least have, like, 5 to 6 clones running around in the laboratory of them, maybe even more than that. It depends on, like, what happens to the clone, if it needs upgrading, if it needs, like, testing done. Some of the clones, like, they malfunction, they glitch out, so they always have to do tests up there and stuff. And when you make a clone, like, you're taking, like, a soul capture of the actual original person and then placing that soul capture onto a chip and putting it into the clone body, or in some way they're, like, downloading a program into the clone's body. So this information has, like, everything that the original individual had. So they'll have, like, the original person's voice, the sound of their voice, their memories, and the way that their body movements were. So like the way that their gestures were, how they walked and stuff like that. And like I said, all of these things that are of you, like, or the original individual, you like your DNA and your attitude, these are all like encryption and information and data that is stored in the database or the computer system that are in these laboratories and in these program software systems that are implemented into the clone. And these laboratories, these cloning centers, these places are right up under your feet. Like they're located underground, and they're located in like far out places, like disclosed locations. Some of them might even be like buildings that you walk past every day and you wouldn't even know. But they showed you in the movie Us, like in the movie Us, they showed you that they have like these laboratories up under fairgrounds. They have them up under probably like downtown areas too. They're probably everywhere, right in front of our faces. And you have to think about it, like the NBA clone that they have up in Utah. Like, why is he in Utah? What rapper do you know lives in Utah? He's in Utah for a reason. Because it's probably close to where like a laboratory is at and where they can keep a close eye on him. Because the clone can actually like glitch out and malfunction, like I said earlier, and the actual soul of the individual can like uproot itself and resist from within, because the soul is in the sunken place, but it can come out easily and just start like banging, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy because these so-called people, and I call them so-called because I don't even think they're really humans, and if some of them are humans, whatever, they still like are like a different species to me. Like, that's some weird shit. But yeah, like these things, like they have the power of like transferring souls and trapping your soul, and they basically have fake immortality. It's fake because it's not natural, and it's not okay either. Now, this is a photo, a close-up of the clone NBA right now. And now you can see like it's no life in his eyes. It's nothing there. It's blank. And these photos are of the original NBA. And you can see the energy in his eyes. You can see the life in him. You can see it's a spirit there. And it's alive. You could just tell that, yeah, like he had a lot of energy in him. Just always look at the eyes, y'all, and you could tell like that's where the realness resides. Alright, y'all, the video's over. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like up, comment below if you want to, and hit subscribe. I'm gonna let you go now. Peace.